Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Path of Exile. And previous week or this week it was, I think, they announced a new league. So today I installed Path of Exile again because most of the time I play Path of Exile 2. And I realized that I played the last league for this game. It was a Settlers League. I didn't realize that until today. And then I started to play this build, and then I saw that this was a very good build. I played to 98 on this build, and I'm going to share with you guys this build. So, what is this build? It's a Juggernaut, so it's very tanky. It got 45, it got a lot of life. It got 30,000 armor. It got ailment immunity, almost 95%, but that's already more than enough. Then it got Fortify too. So it's very strong, and it's Earthshatter with auto exertion is here, and a lot of war cries, and this helmet. So the Siege helmet, because it's really cool. So nearby corpses explode when you warcry, dealing 5% of their life as physical damage. So I played for an hour and I realized that this is a very good build. So what I'm going to show you guys now is the gameplay. I'm going to show you guys the Minotaur. I will post Path of Building under this video too. By the way, I didn't play Path of Exile, I think, for 1 year. So if there is something that is not correct, just put it in comments, because YouTube is just a hobby for me, so it's not my job. So if you see something, this is not working anymore, put it in comments that people can read it. So have a look at the gameplay. If you don't like it, yeah, just close the video and play something else in the new league. So let's get started with the gameplay.
One of my captors felt no emotion. He did not hesitate to inflict pain. Now, all he feels is intense, unstoppable agony.
Hail! My mana is gone.
This is the key to a crucible that stretches the sanity of the mind.
Path of Building, so you guys can see I'm a Juggernaut, so I'm taking Unstoppable. I would take that as a second ascendancy. I would take this one as the first one, Unflinching, then Unrelenting, and then you take Unbreakable. So that's how it looks. Under this video you can see the Path of Building too by yourself. So let's have a look to the tree. So what I did is I just start here and then you just go, you take all those nodes and you go to here. So that's most of the time how you start on the Juggernaut. Then you come here and I put tattoos on my strength nodes. So increased Warcry, cooldown, recovery rate. Because the faster that you can use your Warcries, the better. Then I took here kinetic impacts. And then I went to this area, and then here I took Soul of Steel. Then you go to this wheel. This is a lot of life. Then you come here. Here I took Bastion Breaker, and here I took Wrecking Ball, just for DPS. And then I got some cluster jewels. That's very important. So first of all, this one is important, Overload. Because we are using a Mace, so that means this is how you can get Fortify. Very important. Then you come to this small medium node, and what is important here? So Mob Mentality is important. So Warcries have 5% chance to gain Endurance Frenzy and Power Charge, but that's not that important because it's not a crit build. But then this, lead by example, when you Warcry, you and all nearby allies gain Onslaught for 4 seconds. This is important too. And what do I got here in the jewel? Just life and increased attack speed. And then you go here to the left, and this is important. You need to get Elegant Form, otherwise you cannot get to 100% ailment immunity. Otherwise they don't matter that much. Just be sure that you can get this one. And then you go a little bit more to the right. Of course, here is Golem's Blood. Always still very good. That's how it is. Then you come here, and what do I got here? Increased attack speed and then increased mana reservation. Because you will see, I will have a lot of increased mana reservation because I'm running, I think, 4 or 5 auras. And then here you got an extra endurance charge. Always just pick it up. It's very good endurance charges, so that's the right. Then we go here to the left, and this is important. So here you got a wheel for the Warcries. Be sure that you take this one. Warcries exert 1 additional attack. That makes it very strong. So be sure that you take it, and this one is a no-brainer too. We are non-stop using Warcries. Recover 15% of life when you use a Warcry. One of the best defenses. Skills that you can take here. So be sure that you take that. Be sure that you take it as soon as possible. Then we go here, and this is a very important wheel too. Reduced mana cost for attacks, but that's not all. This one is important. 12% increased mana reservation efficiency of skills. That just simply means that your auras cost 12% less mana reservation. Then we go up. This one I take, of course, too. Juggernaut, once again a no-brainer. Then this one is important too. We got 7 endurance charges, so you get 0.2 regeneration for every endurance charges. So this is alone 1.4% life regeneration. Then what do I got here? Corrupted Blood is here. Be sure that you take it. It's just get a jewel with Corrupted Blood on it. That you cannot get it. because Corrupted Blood is not fun. The other ones, the increased life is very good, increased attack speed is very good too, but Corrupted Blood, be sure that you get it. And I think this was important here too. So here I got, you cannot be maimed, very good too. Be sure that you got that too. I got all the debuffs that I can have, like maim, Corrupted Blood, and then there are 2 other ones too. I just want to ignore them. If you can just ignore everything that they throw at you, the game is a lot easier. Then we go up here, and here of course I take Barbarism, then I took this entire wheel. This is for the maul damage. Then we go up, and here I just took this one. Gain 1 rage on melee hit, because I didn't have enough points anymore. So you don't need to do that much. So you just take 1 note and you get rage. And then of course this is a Resolute Technique build. Be sure that you take that, so that you cannot miss. That's important. And then we go up here, and then here we got the second cluster wheel, and here I took a lot of DPS notes. So you can see 10% Master of Fundamentals, Battle Hardened, then we got Force Multiplayer, and here I got, what are the jewels here? Mana, Efficiency once again, and then here we got, very important, I got once again maimed here, but you cannot be hindered. That's a very important one too, because otherwise you die a lot. And here we got the physical attack damage leech as mana too, because you need to get your mana somewhere, because otherwise you don't get your mana back. Then we go up here, and then here I took Devotion. Then we come here, once again, 1 endurance charge more. Here we got, let me have a look, live melee damage and global physical damage. And why I'm going up for this? So here, once again, is a very good mana reservation efficiency. So that everything costs less mana. And then, of course, we take here Purity of Flesh too. Why not? 10% more life and plus 8 chaos resistance. So that's the 3. It works really well. The cluster jewels, they are the most expensive. Be sure this one is important. Overlord is important. Those smalls are important. Elegant form. This one is important too, but this is purely for DPS. It's very easy. You just buy this, but it's going to cost you some money. So that was it for Path of Building. Now I'm going into the game and I'm going to show you guys the gear. Before we go to the in-game equipment, this is important too, because I forgot to say to you guys where you get Life Leech. If you got Mana Leech, you need to have Life Leech too. It's this, Drive to Destruction. So you can see 0.8% of attack damage leached as life. So now I'm going to show you guys the gear in-game. I'm now in the game and I'm going to show you guys the gear. So first of all, I'm going to start with your weapon. So your weapon is straight on. So it's just a 2-handed mace. So what do you need to have on a 2-handed mace? You need to have add physical damage, increased physical damage, attack speed. And if you're very rich, you can get increased physical damage and accuracy rating. And then you can get the highest physical damage possible. It's very simple. Get the highest physical damage possible that you can have on a maul. Then I'm always going with the coronal maul. Why? Because I like the increased area of effect. It's simply the best that you can have. The more area of effect, the better. I'm not sure that we still are going to get the increased physical damage on it as an explicit, or I think it was an enchant, because that's from the runes, from the settlers. I think it goes core, what I read, but I'm not sure that you still can get a rune that is doing the add physical damage or increased physical damage. If not, yeah, you cannot put it on. So what do I got on my weapon? So this is Earthshatter. Earthshatter is a very nice spell or melee attack. So you just do spikes, then you use Warcry and everything get bombs. So that's really cool. That's all what it does, but it's very strong. Then I got Shockwave support on it because I like to use Shockwave. It's very strong Shockwave, so you will get an extra shockwave. But this is not so good if you go single target. So at the start, I would suggest that you switch it with something else. But for clearing, it's very good. I always use it. If I can use it, I use it. Then the next one is over exertion support. And this is something that you need to understand. So this is a very cool support gem. And why is this very good? So supported attack deals 80% more damage for each Warcry exerting them. I got 4 Warcries 5 that go into exert my attack. So that's a lot of extra damage that I got. Supported attack deal 10% more damage if exerted. Supported attack deal 20% increased damage if exerted. So you can see this is going to do an exert. So what is an exert? Very simple. You use the Warcry and then you will get a couple of attacks that will be buffed by that Warcry. And that is an exert. And what that is, you can read it here. So you can see, for example, Intimidating Cry. Exert the next 2 melee attacks you perform. And then exert attack deal double damage. So that means if I use Intimidating Cry, here we go, and I do this, now this is double damage. And this is exerted. So this did now 18% more damage, 10% more damage. So everything was used. So, but you can just exert 3 times 2. So now my attack is exerted by 3 Warcries. And therefore, over-exertion support is here. It will buff your DPS with a lot. Then the next one is Awakened Melee Physical Damage Support. At the start, you just need to go with Melee Physical. Then it's Pulverize, once again, for a lot of AoE. And then it's Brutality. We are only doing physical damage. Then for the helmet, this is the one that is really cool. Because it's going to let nearby corpses explode when you Warcry. Once again, I like that a lot. It's very strong in these games, so be sure that you got your Siege Helmet. Here we got Cast when damage taken, Enduring Cry, but you can ignore that because he's not going to let this proc. Cast when damage is not working on a Warcry, so you can see it on a spell and support spell. This is not a spell. But I just stack it here. So if you see that, you don't need a link, you get a 4 link, you got a 3 link, and then this is just something that I need to put here because, yeah, I don't have the sockets. Then you got Molten Shell, that's the normal one, and Val, do it like this, push Control, and put Val here on F2, and put it here that you can see when you got enough souls. Just push F2, because it's going to give a lot of, life. It's not really life, but you need to use it when you are going to die, or if you see a very dangerous pack, you need to use Val Molten Shell. So therefore it's here. Then Blood Rage is a no-brainer for frenzy charges. Then we are going to the rings. I took this ring because it got curse enemies with vulnerability on hit. Life is important. Your resistance, cap them at 75. Get your chaos resistance as high as possible. Best is that you cap it 2. So it's always the same that comes back. Here once again, life is here and then resistance. So that's very straight on. Then I'm always using a turquoise amulet for the dexterity and intelligence. Life again and resistance. I'm using for my enchant here Crystal Skin. So why I'm using Crystal Skin? For the simple reason it's going to give a chance to avoid elemental ailments. This is 20. This is 20, that's 40. And then I got on my boots, I got, what is it called? The Eater of the World, implicit modifier. I got 23 and I got 32 on my boots, just like that. So the boots, if I can get to 35, I'm going to be almost capped. Now I got 95. So that's how you need to get ailment immunity. Be sure that you work towards it because it's very good. You cannot get ignite anymore, frozen and all that shit. That will kill you. So just the boots is already 50. And then what I just showed you guys. So be sure that's how you get ailment immunity. Be sure that you get it. What do we get here? I already told you guys it. So then for the chest, I went with the royal plate chest. So I got, let me have a look what it is exactly. So I got increased Warcry buff effect, that's very strong. So it's a searing exarch implicit modifier, the greater one. So you just need to buy a chest and then you will find stuff that looks like this, if I'm not mistaken. So the Eldritch Ember, and you will find the Grand Eldritch Ichor, and that's what you need to use until you got this as an implicit. What do I got here? Once again, life and resistance. Here I used increased maximum life and increased maximum mana. So it's not that complicated, my gear. It's not that how expensive, but you need to have, it's always the same that comes back. It's a very simple build. Beside cluster jewels, it's a very simple build. This can be tricky too, to get your ailment immunity, but yeah, it's very strong too. So what do we got here? So auto exertion is here, and what is this going to do? This is something very cool too. Supported war cries will trigger when their cooldown is over. And what I put on this one is Seismic Cry. So Seismic Cry is going to do something very simple. So it's going to be used, and then it will give an exert attack have 15% more area of effect. There is not really anything good about this one. So therefore you can just put it on this one. So I don't have a 6 link, it's a 2 link. So put this on this one, and this will always be generated, and you always got 50% area of effect. So let me have a look. What is the other one again? Hey, yeah, you get 5% more armor per 5 power, counting a maximum of 20. So it's not that bad. So this is one of the war cries that you can put on it. So therefore I did it. And then this is a very important one too. So here I got my auras. Blood Scent is here. Infernal Cry is here, but Battle Mage Cry is important that you link it with Desecrate. So Desecrate is going to throw bodies on the ground, but, you know, more bodies, nearby corpses explode. So if you use Battle Mage Cry, the Exert is very important here. So Exert the next 5 melee attacks you perform. Exert attack trigger a supported spell with their first melee hit. So what does that mean? If I use Battle Mage and I hit one time, I will get Desecrate. And then my helmet is going to do let the bodies or corpses explode. So you can still use it on a single target. So, and therefore I got, that's a nice combo. It works really well. Then for the gloves, spike gloves. Increase attack speed is very good. Life is very good. Attack speed is always good. I don't like to play slow. So therefore I got it here. Then I got here Enlightening, only level 2. If you're very rich, you can get a higher one. So is it still level 4? That is the maximum, I don't know. But the higher the better, because it's going to allow you to use the War Banner. At the moment I cannot use it. So I only got a level 2. Then here we got Pride, of course, very good. Then we got Flesh and Stone is here, and then we got Herald of Purity. So in total I got 1, 2, 3 auras. And then this Auto Exertion, I think, is using, if I'm not mistaken, mana too. Yeah, 15% mana. So that's a lot. Therefore I got all the mana efficiency on the talent tree. So that's it for that. Always go with the spike gloves if you can. Here I got another implicit, but I think they got 20% melee damage, so always go with it. Then for the belt, Stygian Vice, always live again. Armor is here. Resistance, chaos resistance is here. Always very good to get high chaos resistance. Then what do I got here? Life is here in my gem. Increased damage if you've killed recently. But this is not so good. It's a crap one. Just take what you want on that one. Then for the boots, I already told you guys it. So this is first prio is a lot of movement speed. And this is going to give 50% of your ailment immunity. It's going to cost you some money. But you can see this one I bought on this league. But the focus is here the movement speed. Very important. And then later on, if you got the currency, you need to work to life resistance and of course the amount. You can't just buy like this, of course. You buy just the base. Not the base, but you buy everything without the implicit on it. And then you can just start rolling the embers on it. And then you will be okay. So let's have a look. Yeah, you need to use, yeah. Okay. And then for the gloves, not the gloves, but the flasks. So I got the Divine Life flasks. Grant immunity to bleeding for 11 seconds, because that's the last one. I got immunity for corrupted blood, but that's not needed. This is purely here for the normal bleeding. Then I got here too, this is something that I was testing, I think. So this is the quartz flask, chance to suppress spell damage phasing. I like phasing, but it's not really mandatory. This one, yeah, is a no-brainer. Lion's Roar, always good. Then, of course, we got Quicksilver here too. And then the last one to get a little bit more armor. Armor is always good because it's inner guys with Molten Shell. So that's it, guys. Very straight on. There are a couple of things. So this elemental ailment with this elegant form with this is going to cap it. That's important. This with Battle Mage Cry and Desecrate and this helmet is important. And then you just need to be sure that you cap your resistance, that you got the gems, and then you are ready to go. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit how you need to play it. It's not overcomplicated, because if I can play it, everybody can play it. Okay, how do you need to play it? I will show you guys first the Pantheon. So I got Soul of Lunaris, but you can see it does not really matter that much because I didn't even level it out. And then I took here Soul of Shakiri for the poisons, but it's not that important. You're so strong as a Juggernaut, so it's not that important. So what do you need to do? So first of all, you just get a map. So do we got tier 16, maybe beach map, that's always good. And then you throw an alchemy on it. So, yeah, here we go. Is it okay? So there are one thing that you cannot play. So be sure that you don't play a map that you reflect physical damage, because you will one-shot yourself. I think that's the only one. All the other one you can. Of course, if you go to maps like Monster, do extra fire damage, you need to watch it, of course, a little bit, because you will get one-shotted. That's Path. This is Path of Exile 1, by the way. So let's have a look. Let's get going. So I will show you guys, because it's really cool. The moment that we go in, you will see that Sesame Cry keeps popping the entire time. That if you got corpses, you will bomb shit around you. So you can see. So Battle Mage. So I pop it up, and there you hit. And here is a Desecrate. So now, do you guys saw that was the helmet? No, it was not the helmet. It was Seismic Cry that got activated, and it was just. Why is this going so bad? Okay, because yeah, I cannot leech the mana at the moment because I used everything. By the way, if you got problems, with using the war cries, because you can see for Mage on the edge too. So you can see that I'm now out of mana, but if you got problems, just link life tap with your war cries, and then your problem is solved. Because you can see I'm waiting to get my enlightening up, and then I'm going to get like a couple of percentage more of mana. But at the start you will have problems. Just get life tap on it and you will be fine. This is... and I think, did I took that I cannot leech? Yeah. I cannot... Monster cannot be leeched from. Okay. I was already thinking why I'm not getting my mana back. So be sure that you don't take that either, because it's not going to work. That was a mistake of me. So let's go back. You can see it's a very strong build. So we are going to roll something else. That's something that you cannot take either. I was already thinking, why am I not getting my mana back? Because yeah, I cannot leech. What are we going to take? Do we got another beach map? So let's have a look. I think I used all the beach maps. No. I got one here, but that's not a tier 16. I won't have a tier 16. So the always, that's a cool one. So let's have a look. Here, this is what you cannot roll. Monster reflect 18% physical damage. It's going to one-shot me. So let's re-roll this. Yeah, that's good. So because this build is so strong, so life leech, a mana leech, and physical reflection. That's important. And this is a nice open area. So you can see, you take Battle Mage, and now you can see it goes already a lot better. Because I got now mana. So you just do small steps. And then you use a cry. And that's all what you need to do. I cannot say more about that. You guys already saw. You can jump, of course, with leap 2. And if you got a very heavy pack, you just do F2. 10,000 molten shell. Do you guys see that? That's a lot. So I can now stand here. Look, I'm not doing anything. They are just hitting the molten shell. Now the molten shell broke. And this is Harbinger. Yeah. Let's do this and then I'm going to end the video. So if you want to play the build, enjoy the build. Because I'm going to play it by the way too. Because I didn't realize how good this plays. And they are going to introduce mercenaries, I think. So the build is only going to be stronger and stronger. So this is a little bit a build for a dead like me, you know. You don't need to think that much. You can make a lot of mistakes. Because with getting older, you get a little bit slower, you can see it. So you just run around and you hit war cries. That's all what you need to do. So that was it, guys. Thanks for watching. Have fun in the new league. And I see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.